Brad Coe is with us right now, the Kinney County, Texas sheriff. Sheriff, the numbers look daunting if they're even partly accurate here, that we could see a staggering wave of migrants make their way here. And a lot of them buoyed by these TikTok and other missives that seem to say it's okay, the border is open. What do you make of that and how they'll likely respond to that?
Well, good afternoon. Since the Biden administration has taken over, the border's never really been truly secure. But this wave with Title 42 going away is going to make things very extremely difficult in my county because it's already started. It started last Friday. We started to see the huge influx crossing through our area and through our local ranches. Last Friday, we pulled over 100 off of one freight train. We had a report that there were some passengers riding on top of the grain cars. We got down there and we pulled over close to 200 off that train. And that is far from normal.
Sheriff, let me ask you, one of the things the administration and Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas had mentioned just a couple of hours ago was the implementation of something called a transit ban. Now, this would make it so that migrants who cross into the U.S. without permission, well, they would be ineligible for asylum and therefore quickly deported. We've already seen cases where this so-called honor system was broken, and as soon as they're deported, they're back in the United States, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Do you have any faith in something like that, a transit ban?
No, none whatsoever. Because like you just said, they keep coming back, you send them back, they come back, send them back, they come back. There's no consequences until the federal government starts doing the prosecution and attaching the consequences to their actions. That's what we're going to continue to see.
So when they talk about offering the incentive of the sheriff of those who voluntarily go back need not wait 5 years to try again. In other words, if you're forcibly deported, yet you've come over and you're refusing to go back, of course, then they'll say 5 years before you can try again. Well, to your point, they keep trying again. So this notion that going back voluntarily or not is going to make a difference, what do you think?
I don't think it's going to make a difference one way or the other. The voluntary return at one time was a sustainable deal for Border Patrol, but with these numbers, they're going to have to go strictly by the book and do either the actual removals or prosecute for illegal entry to make everybody believe that, hey, yes, we are going to try to enforce the law here.
Sheriff, as well, I've told a lot about this TikTok message that's gone out, and apparently more than 100 million have viewed it. It might be substantially more than that now. Was that earlier this afternoon? And under the label Titulo 42, it says, right now, the United States is open. You are not going to be deported. Title 42 has come to an end. I keep repeating this because this is what the message is that's getting out to these people who are reading this. And I'm wondering, these are the ones who are trying to get in the United States who've been told that it's okay, come on. Who's putting that out?
That's a good question, but I'm sure it's being interpreted by the cartels in a separate way,
right?
So because they're going to make money off this deal one way or the other.
So they feel emboldened by this. Title 42 goes away. They've never been away themselves. This is going to beef up their presence and actions to get more activity at the border.
I agree 100% with that.
Now, what kind of conditions are we looking at then for those who presumably now feel that they have that green light, especially along the Mexican border where, depending on the numbers, you know these better than I, Sheriff, you're looking at 10, 20, 30, 40,000 or more who might feel that as soon as this ends, they're in or they're going to try to come in.
Well, that's like you showed earlier, the Haitians are lining up there in Matamoros waiting for this to end, so they will overwhelm the system, which will give the cartels their opportunities to use that in their favor to move those that are susceptible to deportation or those that don't want to go for asylum, that want to live here in the underground or in the shadows, plus bringing the fentanyl and the methamphetamines and everything else in. So it works to their benefit.
You know, Sheriff, we're so used to thinking in the past when we would have border issues that this was a Mexico or just a few countries, as you've reminded me in the past, it represents 116 countries, but Venezuela came to mind, and just the period from 2015 to today, a quarter of that country's population has abandoned the country. We see similar numbers out of Haiti and Honduras and a host of other countries. Nicaragua comes to mind. that the conditions have turned so bad in their countries that they are swarming the Mexico southern border, and that wave is what's undeniable and building. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree 100%. Of course, the Venezuelan government and their inflation is through the roof.
Right.
Same thing with the Haitians. The political environment there is fairly corrupt, so they're trying to get away to make a better life for themselves, and I can understand that. But there's also legal ways to do it. But the cartels and others are taking advantage of these people, charging them outrageous fortunes just to get to the Mexican border.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.